Hey guys, AnimeWestReacts here. This is a reaction to One Piece, chapter 1123. Chapter is titled The Void Fortnight. Yeah, cover page is Yamato, or the cover story continuing. Enemies forced to share Odin. So yeah, Yamato, Dendro, and all those kids that attacked her in the last chapter are now just eating together. But alright, getting into the actual chapter. The aftermath of hockey. Egghead Island respond. What's your status? See, everyone is KO'd. And then you got S Snake saying, wake up you guys, Straw Hats are escaping. So yeah, I just KO'd everyone. All the Marines, see Doll, Hound, think of their names, just passed out and drooling. And like the little, like, foaming at the mouth. That usually happens when hockey hits you. You got Dory say, or one of the giants saying, wow, all of them are down. And Dory says, seriously, that's amazing. And Bragi saying, that was greater than Red Hair's, but it didn't seem hostile, did it? And Leafy just laughs, says, that's, thanks for everything, Iron Giant. And then, yeah. Yeah, no reaction, but then, yeah, Dory and Bragi say, alrighty, let's go. Let's go while they're sleeping. We better get out of here, and they say, hey, you heard the captain. Let's go, you bastards. We're off to Elbath. And it's like, yeah. And we see Bonnie with Kuma, Zoro, Usopp's crying and seeing Dory and Bragi. Luffy's all shriveled up again on Nami's lap. And then, yeah, Sanji says, Vegapunk, what you said earlier isn't sitting right with me. Was this all some sort of gotcha moment for you? And then he says, hey now, I couldn't follow everything you were saying, but it's pretty outrageous, wasn't it? We go back in time to Egg Week. Egghead 2 weeks prior, it says. Someone saying there are some anomalous readings coming from the power station. You can say that again. Monitor for any fluctuations in particle density and neutron flux. And then Shaka saying the energy used by the Seraphim is meant to gradually increase over time. This could be a grave error if we miscalculated. Pythagoras saying, wait, aren't these numbers different from our earlier confirmed readings? And Vegapunk himself saying yes. And the rate of reaction is increasing too, but the power station seems stable. And Shaka says, this data seems to indicate that someone has tampered with the Mother Flame to steal its energy. Every single data point related to the power station has been carefully modified. To pull this off, the culprit has to be... And then Vegapunk's like, Vegapunk, was it Lilith? And then Shaka's like, I'm afraid the three of us are the only ones who have ironclad alibis. And he says an insane amount of energy was stolen, so we have to avoid we have to observe the other four to determine who's responsible, especially Lilith. And he says we have to put our brains into offline stealth mode too. That's right, if our memories of this get uploaded to Punk Records, then Lilith, the culprit, will know we're onto him. And so then a week later, is a week before the present, Tiger says, I've identified the culprit. It's York. And then both Shaka and Vegapunk are like, what? And so, yeah, York's sleeping. Pythagoras says, the memories she's been synchronizing with Punk Records are phony. Also confirmed that the surveillance snails at the scene of the crime were tampered with too. And Vegapunk says, why would she do such a thing? And my bad, Lilith. Yeah, because he's been blaming her the whole time because she's evil. She's supposed to be the evil one. But yeah, Shaka says, I've also found evidence that suggests someone deployed the weaponized sea beast without authorization. Pythagoras saying a jamming white transponder snail was also found in our investigation. And Vegapunk says, I know we can reconstruct the call data directly from our long-distance transponder snail. And then, yeah, they hear it. It says, Bert, Dr. Vegapunk is researching the Void Century. And then, yeah, Vegapunk's like, she rang Mary Joa. No wonder Cypherpole keeps coming here to snoop around. 6 days before the present, Lucia's been erased. The details are still foggy, but I have a bad feeling about this. Then Vegapunk says, Pythagoras, observe any changes to the sea levels and monitor all wireless transmissions. He says, yes, sir. And Shaka says, do you think this has something to do with the theft of the Mother Flame? And he says, I'm sure of it. That portion of the flame that must have been delivered to the government by one of the weaponized sea beasts. And he says, if you'll permit me to indulge in pure conjecture, it seems plausible that the world government possesses one of the ancient weapons, and they must have needed the Mother Flame energy that York stole to fuel it. We'll see if the evidence supports my conclusion. Even if this deduction is sound, it's hard to speak aloud. And he says, it's my fault after all. Only a fool lets their greed run amok, and I went and personified mine. He says, is there any benefit to apprehending York now that we know? And Vegapunk says, no, it's too late for that. York's motives are irrelevant now that York's motives are irrelevant now. They will still come to erase anyone who knows of the Void Century. And so he says, York already demonstrated her worth to them by rashly handing over the Mother Flame. The best we can do is use that trust as an opportunity to determine their intent for the flame and try to mitigate the damage. And Shaka says, Stella, we still have a chance to escape if we flee now. And he says, prepare a boat for the other residents, Quasar. They still have a shot at escaping Egghead, but it's impossible for us. The Navy will have issued secret orders to every branch and base by now. They'll chase us to the ends of the world, and our inevitable deaths will be meaningless. At least here on Egghead, we have something O'Hara didn't 22 years ago. We have the means and equipment to amplify our voices as far and wide as possible. Vacuum's like, what exactly is the world government? The closer I get, the more shrouded it becomes. He says, if I must die, I will sell my life dearly. And he says, I apologize for wrapping you two into all this. And then Shaka says, don't be silly, we're Vegapunk's just like you. Yeah, they both say, we're all thinking the same thing. And he says, just one issue, Stella. What exactly constitutes death for someone like us? Yeah, because... And he says, good point. He says, there is one thing we must safeguard. It's our cloud loft technology. Manufacture artificial island clouds. It may be pivotal in saving humanity in the near future. And York says, huh? Stella, what are you doing here? She's like, finds him at the giant robot. And he says, oh, is that you, York? You know, same old, same old. If our experiments to optimize the Mother Flame allow this thing to move again, it'll be a big breakthrough in creating our ideal energy source. And he's like, or York says, that's right. It'd be amazing if we achieve that soon. And then he says, right. While he's thinking, I can only pray it never gets perfected. And then 2 days before the present, Shaka says, go ahead and speak now. The recording has begun. And then Vegapunk says, mic check, testing, 1, 2, 3. Tension world, hello there. This is Dr. Vegapunk, the world's greatest and most humble scientific genius. And then it cuts to, or transitions, I guess, later. It says, what we said will come as a big shock, right? And so maybe, but everyone has a right to know the truth. No one will ever suspect the transponder snail to be hidden here. My death will trigger the message to be sent out to the world. We need to ensure that no one finds out until it's too late. Any abnormality in our behavior could be a tip-off that spoils our plans. Erasing our own memories is the safest bet. So yeah, that's why they didn't. Why York was like confused. And that said, there will be consequences. We'll lose all memories related to this matter. The fact that York stole the Mother Flame, the fact that our lives are currently at stake. We'll have to suffer through all those bombshells all over again. The shark says, indeed. Vegapunk says, the fear we feel for our lives will be brand new to us, but we have put our countermeasures in place, even if things go sideways. It'll be our victory. And then they just like wake up after their memories are erased, like, the memory research lab, what are we doing here? And then Vegapunk sees a message, I guess, that says, my handwriting. It says, good morning, everybody. You'll find out that you three have a missing fortnight's worth of memories that were wiped of your own volition. A number of things will probably come as a surprise because of this, which is ironically pretty amusing. It says, I will tell you one thing, though. The world government has found out about our research into the Void Century. They're just like all eyes bulging out of their heads, like, they found out? Am I really telling? Yeah, it says, I have already taken the best precaution possible. You will just have to put your faith in me and die. Oh, and one last thing. And yeah, Vegapunk like, am I really telling myself to go die? It says, oh, and one last thing. And this is Stella, Emperor Straw Hat's crew, and Bonnie have just made landfall. And he's like, what? Cypherpole is approaching too. What? There's also a naval armada coming to blockade the island. What? He's like, these things just happen one after another. Admiral Kizaru and Elder Saint Saturn seem to be with them. What? This is after we rescue Bonnie from down there. I think it'd be best if they stayed put. This is when he's with Sanji. And he says, yeah. Sanji's like, you'll die. And then he says, like when they were going down in that cloud car thing. And then he says, you don't need to help me escape anymore. I've thought about it. Just let me die here. I don't know why I can read that. And Sanji's like, what do you mean you have a death wish? And Vegapunk says, far from it. But I've come to believe that my death will set something important in motion. And he's like, this is going to be a big mess. We can't just sit there and watch you die. We got to do something. And this is, and one more thing. It's about the One Piece. And then, yeah, he says, what about it? And Vegapunk says, I want you guys to be the ones who find it. And then we got, yeah, everyone say, here's to reuniting with old friends. As they're like starting to party, and Luffy's like, hold on, do this later. Wait for me. And then like Usopp standing on Dory's hand or Broggy's hand, I forget which one's which all the time, but yeah. Says, woohoo, we're off to the island. Off to the land of my dreams, Elbaf. As yeah, Dory and Broggy laughing. It says thinking 2 moves ahead, and that's how the chapter ends. So if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate you guys liking it, sharing it, and all that. And yeah, see y'all later. Bye.